Good morning, Tom Estabrook here at Estabrooks in Yarmouth. Today we're starting a free 4.5-inch tomato plant for any kid 10 or under while supplies last. Wanted to kind of show you how you can get your kids gardening today, and obviously this warm weather that we're having, tomatoes absolutely love it. They grow quickly and they love the heat. So now's the time to think about adding one more tomato to your garden or a container on your deck. So here's one of our Estabrooks grown 4.5-inch tomatoes, and I recommend you use a minimum of a 12-inch pot. So here's a 12-inch Pantera pot we sell. It's a very inexpensive pot, but you could use a glazed pot, you could use something decorative. You also could use a 5-gallon bucket and drill some holes in the bottom of it for drainage. So you can use a container that's clean around your house or purchase one. So first thing I do when I take a tomato plant like this is I put it in the pot and see how deep I'm going to plant this. Now, tomatoes are something that's kind of a little bit different than most plants. We do like to bury them a little bit deeper than normal. So I've noticed that I can take the leaves off from here down. So I'm just going to snip those leaves off with a pair of scissors, or you can snap them off with your fingers. Take this plant out of the pot. I'm just going to set the tag aside right now, and I'm going to lightly loosen those roots just a little bit on the bottom, not a lot. I'm going to place that down in my pot, and you can see how much lower that is. I'm going to take a couple more leaves off. I want those leaves not to be right on the soil so we don't have splashing water and create fungus problems. Once we do that, we're going to take nice soil like this Coast of Maine potting soil, Bar Harbor, and we're going to fill right around the plant. This 8-quart bag is about perfect for this size pot, maybe a little bit more, so you might want a 16-quart so you have a little bit of extra. You basically are going to have a nice ring. I probably would add a little bit more soil, but you want at least about 1.5 inches or 2 inches of lip on the pot so that you can water well when you do. Compact that, place your tag back in, and that's basically planted. It's very simple. It's a great project with the kids, and also you get to go out on your back deck, pick some tomatoes each night to put on your salad or your meal, or maybe the kids just pick them off all the time. Now, what you need to do to be successful with this plant is a couple other things. Fertilizer. Now, you either are going to grow this plant in a pot and we're going to add fertilizer to it, or we're going to grow it in the ground. If we're growing in the ground, you would add a nice bag of this quality compost to your soil in your garden. Okay, that's going to be enough nutrients to get it started and build some organic and microorganisms down into the soil and help that plant thrive. It also will help retain some moisture, which is good in this dry time. For fertilizer, in a pot, I like to use a liquid. So this is Neptune's Harvest Tomato and Veg. That's a good one for in a container. Liquid is easier to actually absorb in a container, and you're going to be watering more often and leaching nutrients out of the soil, so it's important to add those in. Now, only about once every other week on a fertilizer in a pot, because we don't want to push too much foliage and not enough fruit. So not too much. In the ground, you may use Espoma Tomato Tone, or Coast of Maine Bud and Bloom's another good one. This you would just side dress kind of around the plant and let Mother Nature water it in, or when you're watering. Now, I would only do that if your plant is kind of getting off color. Again, we want the plant to fruit, not put a lot of growth. So if we use that quality compost, it's going to give us enough nutrients in the ground for quite some time. So keep your eye on your plants, adjust as they tell you what needs to happen. We're here to help at Estabrooks. And lastly, in this heat and humidity, we want to be careful about fungus. So a nice copper fungicide is another good preventative to make sure that you don't have fungal problems starting on your plant. Okay, so again, our promotion right now is a free 4.5-inch tomato plant from Estabrooks. So we've got multitude of different varieties. Free 4.5-inch plant for kids 10 and under. So bring your kids in. We'd love to get them gardening. We hope to see you soon. And this runs through July 4th. or while supplies last. So please come see us in Yarmouth. It's only available in the Yarmouth store. Hope you have a great weekend. For the joy of gardening.